Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I hope your week is ending phenomenally and you are able to have the wonderful weekend you have planned. So, we are finishing up a 3-part series today talking about learning something new. And in the first part, we discussed why should I learn something new? How do you decide what to learn, and why would you decide on that particular thing, right? In the second day, we talked about how to put it into your schedule and how to get started, how to approach learning this something new. What would your process be? Today, we are going to talk about how does learning something new make you feel? And how does learning this particular new thing make you feel? Those are two very different things, or they may be. Then we're also going to talk about how do you think about this new thing? And we'll flesh that question out a little bit as we go along. So, what I want you to post about today is, of course, basically your thoughts along these lines as I'm talking. What does it make you feel? Particularly, what does this new particular thing, how does it make you feel? This one you're going to have to do as I'm explaining it, but how does it make you think? Okay. But I want you to put some keywords in that on what you're posting today. So, okay. I have been using the example of me learning my new business, right? How to wear makeup, how to look presentable. So when I was having to learn those things, we already know, as I've described, how I felt about it was, this is not my favorite topic to spend time on because I just don't get it. And I feel like there is so much more I could be doing with my time than, I'd rather sleep for another 20, 30 minutes than think extra long about what I'm wearing instead of just throwing on jeans and t-shirt or jeans and sweatshirt. I'd rather sleep those extra minutes than take the time putting on my makeup. And, it's not like I knew what I was doing anyways when I was first learning, of course. So we already know how I felt about it. So let me see if I can rephrase this question. What I thought about those things, wearing makeup, wearing decent, presentable clothing, what I thought about them, and here's what I mean by this question, is I didn't see why they were important. I didn't see them as either impeding or supporting my day. Now, I was wrong. As we've talked about in other videos, when you look good and feel good about how you look, you have more confidence. You present yourself differently. You feel more capable and courageous. Okay? So how you look does, in fact, actually make a difference. If you find yourself feeling like you don't think it would make enough of a difference for it to be important enough to take the time to learn, well, one, I will tell you, I am here as an actual witness through the process to say you're wrong. It makes an absolute difference. Now you'll notice I may still look presentable with my clothes, but I do not always wear makeup every day. Now that I know how to do it, and I know I can if I want to, there are some days I feel, yes, there's a purpose for the makeup I need to put on today. And then I still let myself have some days where I don't. But just knowing that I know how to do it now. Part of why I'm avoiding it isn't because I don't know how to do it. And that even makes a big difference. So, but let's get off that topic and show you with a different example. So I'm going to take raising my kids. Okay. When I first had my first one, even my second kid, they were like 2.5 years apart. So, I'm here to tell you 2.5 years is not enough time raising children to feel like you know what you're doing for the second one. It's enough time to tell you you can survive this, clearly. So when I first was having children, I didn't know what I was doing. I read book upon book upon book, talked to people, listened to their experiences, listened to what they learned. I learned as much as I could. I didn't necessarily go take, traditional classes on it. Sometimes I looked up videos. That wasn't quite as popular back then, 16 years ago. But there were plenty of books to read. I totally love self-learning. I don't mind self-learning. I don't mind, and then I would talk things out with my friends who were parents, my sisters who were parents, things like that. But I dove in on how do you do this? Everything from, how do you nurse? How do you begin feeding an infant? How do you any of that to, how do you know how to discipline, let alone when to discipline, right? And my attitude, what I thought about raising kids was it was really important. It was what I felt about it was it's the most important thing I am ever going to do in my life. That's how it felt. It also felt really terrifying because now I was responsible for these human beings, right? And what they portrayed to the world was going to reflect upon me and how I taught them, right? Was I an effective teacher or not? And what I needed to do was tweak my mindset. Like I tweaked my mindset with learning about makeup and clothes and all of that. And it became important to me, not only because I really liked my business and really wanted to learn and grow in it and wanted to keep my business, but also because of the confidence it built in me when I knew how to do that stuff, right? And it made me feel formidable in going out and doing other things. I needed to tweak my mindset about raising my kids. Instead of having all this weight on me and feeling like, oh, I have to teach these kids how to do good and not do bad and be respectful and, be honest and all these things. And I basically felt like what is the word I'm trying to think of? Dictator, right? I felt like I needed to be their dictator and be in control of everything, every aspect of their life. No, this isn't the time to eat. Oh, if I don't help them know how to eat properly now, then they're just going to grow up and, not know how to eat well, and they're going to have that battle when they get older. And, oh, why didn't I teach them better? And, oh, this and, oh, that, right? We put all these worries on us. Instead, tweak your mind to realizing you're their teacher. You are their teacher. You are their mentor. You're not their dictator. You don't need to be their dictator. You're trying to raise these kids to be their own independent adults. Why are you going to dictate to them for 18 years and then suddenly turn them to the world so that no one's there to dictate anymore? Instead, you tweak your mindset. You are their teacher, their mentor. You talk to them about what you learned and how you learned that. teach them how to learn and go through these processes that you go through. And boy, whew, they just start taking off because they start picking up that you learned things in these ways. Well, they can learn things in these ways. And if mom and dad are willing to learn, I can be willing to learn, and so on and so forth. And it takes a lot of weight off of you. Not because necessarily the end outcome is different, although, it is. You raise them to be dependent upon themselves. Independent. There it is, Kristen. Where's my brain today? But it's a completely different way of looking at it. So when you're looking at learning something new, it's really important to dig out, like we talked about in our first lesson, that why you want to learn that particular new thing. Because that just might help you tweak your mindset enough that it keeps the overwhelming feeling at bay. And any negative feelings that want to bubble up will simmer down. So let me know how this process is going for you. Give me some feedback so I can give you some support and feedback. I hope this has been a helpful series for you all, and I hope you have an amazing weekend.